Hey YouTube, what's going on? Mark here. Happy late Sunday going into Monday morning. So therefore, before we take on the 2016 Mickey Mouse champions in SBC Center in our house in San Antonio, Texas, it's time to talk about the Christmas Day game, which was Emily's second ever Spurs game and her first Christmas she spent with me as a girlfriend to me, against the defending champion Thunder in OKC in a special edition episode of Spurs Roundup, which is the Patty Mills installment, aka episode 8, and not that Pastor Olenek, because fuck him for taking Mills' number and preventing him from being retired in the rafters at SBC Center a hell of a lot longer than like putting it a longer delay than it needs to be, much like those imposters who took Malik and Bonner's number in the past and over the years. So therefore, again, this is the message to R.C. Buford, the host, Brian Wright, Mitch Johnson, pop in the front office that 15, 31, and 8 should never be allowed to be used in San Antonio on the Spurs team ever again in order to prepare themselves to be retired in the rafters at SBC Center and then later the upcoming downtown arena in downtown San Antonio. And out of respect and in honor of Matt Bonner, 15, Malik Rose, 31, Patty Mills, 8, but unfortunately, due to their incompetent leadership in that department, it's why we can't have nice things, unfortunately. But that's a topic and a story for another day, another video. But right now, let's get into what we're here to talk about, the Christmas Day game against the Thunder in OKC, where the Spurs, whoop the shit out of OKC's ass for the third time in a row before they have to do it a fourth and final time next month on the 13th in their house once again. And the second one that'll be with Jacob and Sean because the other two are nationally televised. The most anticipated day of the 2025-26 San Antonio Spurs season my audience was waiting for. Mine and Emily's first ever Christmas together as a couple since we weren't together long enough the first year we dated a year ago. The first year we dated a year ago, and our second Spurs game ever. So the game for the Silver and Black, the good guys in Silver and Black, did get off to a slow start. We did trail for a little while because OKC looked like they were hungry for redemption. And the two losses we had, including that nail-biting loss in the NBA Cup on Eric Lange's daughter, Maisie. I apologize to Eric and Lisa for getting her daughter's name wrong, calling her Lily. During that said, I said Maisie. For some reason, I thought her name was Lily, but I stand corrected. My bad. But San Antonio proved that, they're the Thunder's kryptonite, by proving that this team is no joke this year compared to the previous 6 years. And look, Wemby was about to come in. That's how you knew right there, that sighting, that trouble was about to commence on the court in the defending champions' home floor. So these Spurs prove that they're not only no joke this year for their first good seasons in 2016-17, but they also prove they're nowhere near the level of here comes trouble. They're nowhere near the level of the Spurs teams of the previous 6 years. So eventually they picked up the pace when Wemby stepped on the floor and they figured it out, and because the Wemby effect is what really, shifted the game and the momentum in the favor of the Spurs. So here's Harper on the floor too, which, is a nice addition to the Wemby effect, proving why, San Antonio deserves to have 3 Rookie of the Years in 3 seasons. Like, right there, the Wemby effect is real. The Spurs quickly clawed their way back into the game thanks to Wemby's heroics. And there was a scary sight right here. No, that's not it. It's a little bit later in the game. So here's the end of the first quarter. Fox had the hot hand that day. He really, really did. And, okay, the part I'm looking for is not here. That was Cornette on the floor. So let's see here. Keldon, tough ass bucket. He misses, but got his own miss and put it back. That's when the Spurs proved that they were for real in this game, proving that they're OKC's kryptonite. Cornette slam dunk, proving that he's a good backup big for Wembanyama and not the imposter and Patty Mills number that apparently only seems to get heavy minutes when it's garbage time, or there's a bunch of people out, mostly most of the valuable bigs that are more important than him. Wemby misses and grabs his own offensive rebound, dunks all over that motherfucker, who he dunked all over. Like, he basically touched him while he was in midair. Get in that sucker. Hell yeah. I know I'm talking out of my ass right now with this review, but there's a particular play that I'm looking for that involved Wemby that was very, very scary. That gave us a little scare. Well, I wouldn't say very, very scary. That's a poor choice of words, but this is when we started pouring it on like Kerry Wampler, Wemby with the block. Even though the block streak came to an end the previous game against these fuckers in San Antonio when we started the Jackals clap or chant, whichever one works for you. I mean, Mr. 100% is back after he cooled off at the worst possible time in the Emirates NBA Cup. Young Devo going bang bang Tito Puente. This fucking bum named Lou Dort who basically was trying to injure Fox and probably succeeded, but he didn't do a very good job because he's questionable to play tomorrow. And every time someone was questionable to play on the Spurs, well, in terms of who was injured, like, Wembenyama or Harper and Castle like they've done all season, I mean, he might play. He tried to injure Wemby, but luckily it didn't work because apparently he played the next game and that calf was fine. I'm still trying to... Okay, I think this is it right here. Oh, yeah, right here. This was scary right here. I thought for sure that he got injured again and that because he did hold his leg like 3 times after that, but apparently he's fine. So, therefore, otherwise he wouldn't have played last night, technically 2 nights ago. So, crisis averted, I guess, because he can't afford to miss more than 6 games. Otherwise, he'll be ineligible for some end-of-season award. So, anyway, roll it. So, let's see here. The third quarter began, and guess what? No third-quarter blues this time around for the third game in a row. I mean, we're starting to clean up that shit a little bit. White Castle right there. Oh, my goodness. But Swipa continued the hot hand right here. And here's a little bonus feature I decided to add into this video to make it more fun. Roll it.
In the German Professional League as a teenager, as Wemby pulls one at the other end for 3. Looking for their first win of the season against San Antonio, who has defeated them the first 2 times. On the pick and pop, Barnes laces the 3 ball.
Pretty cool, huh? What you were just looking at is exactly what I was looking at on the TV when this game happened live in real time, which was from my wife's point of view, seeing me get hype going bang, bang, Tito Puente, twice in a row from the Alien and Mr. 100%. Oh, man, I mean, I hope... Look at this badass motherfucker throwing down that 2-handed dunk. Normally, Stefan Castle, his partner in crime, the Slash Brothers, would be doing that shit. But Harper has hops. That's why I picked this motherfucker to be one of my current favorite players on this fucking team. And Swipa missed it, but Keldon got the putback dunk. And that one, I fucking lost my shit and nearly blew the roof off my house. And right in front of my wife, too. I was making her laugh. And from the rest of the way on, it was all San Antonio. I mean, the Thunder did try to stop Wemby and try to come back, but it just wasn't enough because it wasn't meant to be for these fraudulent defending champions because San Antonio is OKC's kryptonite. I know Auto Rock and Race in 94, a.k.a. Luis Torres, is pretty happy to see the Thunder get beat by my team 3 times in a row. But if they decide to bring the Sonics back for the new Seattle expansion team, then you might throw your bitterness for OKC out the window because at least you'll have the Sonics back, in which they might pull a Charlotte Hornets and transfer the Sonics history from the OG team to the current team, allowing OKC to have their own history. So the next game is tomorrow night, technically later on tonight on NBC at the SBC Center, where hopefully Swipa will be back by then because we sure as hell need him for this game. Let's get payback on fake Kyle Petty, a.k.a. Fraudevin, and the 2016 Mickey Mouse champion Cleveland Cavaliers from December 5th when I went to the game and we had the third quarter blues that me and my dad had to sadly witness in person, and my homeboy Jones Garcia almost got himself thrown out for that stupid unnecessary foul he committed on one of the Cleveland players. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you all for tomorrow night's Spurs game review in the next Spurs Roundup episode, which will most likely be the first episode of 2026, which will be the Patty Mills installment. Let's go back into our home floor and get payback on these assholes from Cleveland, led by fake Kyle Petty, a.k.a. Fraudevin Mitchell, known as the 2016 Mickey Mouse champion. champion Cleveland Cavaliers. See you later, everyone. And as always, go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go!
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.